Welcome, family, friends, staff, and of course, the class of 2025. I'm Azelle.
And I'm Edie. We are gathered here today to celebrate an unforgettable 4 years of successes and achievements. Each and every single one of you has so much to be proud of, and as a class, we have helped build each other up to who we are today.
High school was full of memories, whether it was in class, on the stage, on the field, or even just with friends. We each lived it to the fullest.
This year can be described as bittersweet as it comes to a close, but there is still more fun to have before we all go.
Now, it's time to relive some of the best moments from our unique experiences from the past 4 years. It's time to celebrate being Huskies and get excited about what's to come. We have an amazing lineup for everyone tonight in honor of this tremendous feat we call high school.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Good evening. For those who don't know my name is Kyle Tran. First, I would like to thank everyone here today, faculty, families, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2025. And of course, my mom and dad. When I first sat down to write this speech, I had no clue what I was doing. The prompt was to share a story reflecting the full NNHS experience. But how could one story possibly capture all 4 years and the hundreds of memories we made here at North? But maybe that's the answer. There isn't just one story. The story of Naperville North is a giant mixture made up of all of our experiences. So, what were those moments that truly brought us together? Was it Matthew dropping into the splits during the homecoming Olympics? Or Charlie screaming into the mic under the Friday night lights? Maybe it was that one chaotic math class where no one studied for the test, yet somehow we all walked out with an A. Maybe it was the air band performances when people we never expect to absolutely own the stage. Perhaps it was the heated hallway debates about who's the GOAT, LeBron or Jordan, the lunchtime gossip, or maybe it was even pretending to do homework while secretly watching TikToks or playing Block Blast. We crammed for AP tests, tried not to laugh during important presentations, and submitted assignments 1 minute right before or after it was due. Some of us even pulled off the biggest academic comebacks that even our teachers were shocked by. But it was also the tough days. There were days where the stress felt overwhelming, when motivation was lost, when we felt societal pressures of growing up, or when senioritis hit hard. It's the friendships that faded, the goodbyes we didn't see coming, and the moments we had to pick ourselves back up, but we did together. Freshman year was different for us. We were the last class in Naperville North still affected by COVID when we walked through those doors. We didn't get the typical high school start. Most of us came in still recovering from the isolation of middle school Zoom classes, unsure how to start conversations or navigate crowded hallways. Some of us had never stepped foot in a real classroom since the 7th grade when we had that so-called 2-week lockdown. We were used to muted microphones and joining Zoom classes when we were still lying in bed, not spirit weeks and having to walk to class. We were rebuilding something that felt broken, and slowly, we did together. We grew up here. We walked in as freshmen, probably on the wrong side of the hallway, and now we're walking out as seniors who still don't know the difference between a simile and a metaphor. But in between all the chaos, we figured some things out. We learned how to solve equations using ChatGPT, and yes, to use it to write those essays. We adapted to change and lean on each other when life got hard. We discovered how to lead, how to listen, and how to be present in the little moments that made these 4 years mean something. We learned how to overall be driven. And you know what they say, once a Husky, always a Husky. So whatever comes next, whether it be college, a job, the military, a gap year, or even just figuring it out one day at a time, I hope we carry this with us. The ability to show up, to care deeply, to mess up and try again, and to believe in ourselves, even when things feel uncertain. We are the last class at North to have entered, and high school still shaped us by the effects of the pandemic. But we didn't let that define us. Instead, we defined what it means to come back stronger and to grow into something better. So yes, the future is unknown, but don't let that scare you, because I've seen what we're all capable of. So to the class of 2025, thank you for the memories, the chaos, the laughter, and the moments where life just didn't feel real. You've all felt like family to me, and I wouldn't trade this family for anything. This is Caltran signing off. Let's go, Dogs.
Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you build a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, you're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay. Hope that you fall in love and it hurts so bad. The only way you can know, you give it all you had. And I hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain. Hope when the moment comes, you'll say, I lived. Hope that you spend your days, but they all add up. And when that sun goes down, hope you raise your cup. Oh, I wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. But until my moment comes, I'll say I lived.
How's everyone doing so far? There are places I remember all my life, but some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone, and some remain. All these places have their moments of others and friends. I recall Some are gone and some are living. In my life, I love them all. And of all these friends and lovers, there is no one that compares to you. These memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. Though I know I'll never lose affection of people and things that have been before. I know I never lose the meaning. In my life, I love you more. Oh, I love you more. Though I know I'll never lose affection of people and things that I still recall, I know I'll never stop losing meaning. In my life, I love you more. In my life, I love you more. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, how in the world do I follow that? Thank you, Billy. Okay. What a gift it is to share this evening with my fellow members of the class of 2025. Your journey as Huskies has moved at warp speed, whereas mine, it's taken me almost a quarter of a century to qualify for another high school cap and gown. What a strong testament that is to you, seniors, for my not wanting to leave this place, one that has become our second home, Naperville North. When I chose 2025 as my graduation date, you guys were in 8th grade and scattered among junior highs and private schools. I really felt like an expectant grandparent preparing to welcome 600 of my kids in August of 2021. I knew that you would be the last group with whom I would share the full story and often the saga of freshman to senior year. However, my heart soon told me that your chapter would be the best. Okay. These last months with you have been, I'm sure at times, a lot of reflection as you confront your impending and major life transition. Well, guess what? I share these feelings because I, too, am leaving the security and rhythm of our North world. Literally, every single time I let myself feel, or both the elation and the sadness of this change, a beloved song comes to mind. You can probably guess what it is. It's titled, In My Life, which Billy just so beautifully sang. Parents and grandparents are familiar with the group who recorded this melody back in the day, the Beatles. Have any of you heard of the Beatles? Yeah, okay. Just checking. Okay. If not, immediately go to Wikipedia after this, okay? They are answers to many Jeopardy questions, okay? Paul McCartney, the Beatles' handsome left-hand guitar player, yes, he's still alive, yeah. He was my first celebrity crush. Oh, yeah, okay. Before he was usurped by my current superstar crush, anybody know? Spanish-speaking tennis pro, Rafa Nadal. Thank you. Just in case I forgot, okay. He certainly fits the profile a little better since I teach Spanish and coach tennis, right? Okay. No worries though, Senior Bishop's here tonight and he's well aware of the situation. We're good, okay. The beginning stanza of In My Life has always struck an emotional chord when I hear it. I have listened to it in many significant places in my life. In fact, our firstborn and I chose this song for our mother-son dance at his wedding. The lyrics begin like this. There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed. Some forever, not for better. Some have gone, and some still remain. All these places have their moments with others and friends I still can recall. Some are gone, and some are living. And in my life, I've loved them all. Okay. Tonight, Naperville North is the place that we collectively remember, and it holds sacred both our experiences and our responses to them, right? How instrumental this season has been in shaping who we become and how prepared we are to embrace the future. So, what do I remember about Naperville North? Hold on, guys. In my happy place at North, room 176, I remember every one of my first litter of 2025 Huskies. And you did not disappoint, okay? You were almost perfect, as any adoring grandparent would explain. You were eclectic in nature, highly energetic, mostly endearing, and occasionally exasperating. You know whom you are, okay? Okay. That August cast of characters whom you will recognize were the following: Emma and Reagan, Hamza and Kaylin, Jesse and Aiden, also Nora and Annika, Maddie P and Zippy. Add in Abby and Zach, except I call him Baba Boy. Okay. Christian and the two Sophias, Sophia H and K. There were Abby and Xavier, Amber and Noah. And not to forget Andrew, Ricky, but really it's Ricky, okay. Nicolas, Jessica, Lizzie, and Mateo T. And I cannot forget the daring duo, our favorite class clowns, Mateo S. and Sean Van D. I remember the frustration and disconnect as we began those freshman days. With masks in place and learning at a distance, our creation of community virtually halted, which is particularly important for ninth graders. I remember our exhilaration when we removed those coverings, and I rediscovered the joy of facial expressions, the sound of unstifled laughter, and literally living out loud again. I remember a certain not to be named freshman boy, and you'll know whom you are, okay? He seemingly thrived on our numerous chats in the hall due to his highly annoying day after day after day behavior. Now, I remember a young man who committed to change. He actually seeks me out now for conversations and promises me a ride in his sweet car that he purchased himself due to his impeccable work ethic. I remember semester 2 first hour antics of the Mateo and Seanito show. Okay, Sonny, I'm sure you're here, and his silly sidekick Sean could not enter first period without major theatrics. In fact, he did it today. Arms in the air, shouting, "Si se puede, oh, si se puede," until we all noticed that they had truly arrived. How very much I long to replay that scene again and again. I remember the years of Fun Food Fridays in that place, room 176. Fridays were always a really popular time to arrive promptly to class. And to introduce me to new amigos at the end of the period who actually just wanted to scrounge what was left of the goodies. No wonder I have relationships with many of you who I never taught or coached. I remember your wholehearted participation in everything in our place. Dress-up days, school dances, crosstown, anything, right? Teacher-initiated dance parties, March Madness of music and basketball, if Kentucky were playing, and Saxygrams, to name a few. But my all-time favorite, anything but a backpack day. Okay. What did we observe? golf bags, wheelbarrows, garbage cans, fish tanks, baby strollers, red wagons, and they were carried, dragged, or rolled to class. My personal favorite, Gabby Lee's method of transport. All necessary materials traveled in the hall in a kiddie car in style. She insisted that day that there was room for me, and there was. I can attest, though, that her tennis game is much stronger than her cozy coop shuffling. I remember tennis times, 4 incredible fall seasons that provided laughter, some drama, hilarity, and commitment. 11 frightened freshmen became 11 superb seniors who left egos aside and formed a family. After working with Ariana, you probably know her, in her leadership role as a captain, I am completely convinced that she needs to set aside her goal of becoming a dentist and immediately campaign for the first female president. Yes, yeah. Believe me, she can run any organization right now. I remember Friday mornings in room 176 with our semi-secret, no strings attached club. Brooke and Kylie offered a genuine and warm welcome to all. This non-club club, sorry, Jen, was and is a place to share anything on one's mind. It's a judgment-free zone for all shapes and sizes and ages to enjoy good stories, good snacks, and good people. I pray this continues as we graduate. I remember watching Love in Action when I spy on many of you as you spend time with your very best buddies. Your devotion is proof that it is more blessed to give than to receive. Sophia and Maggie, Luke and Jackson, Molly and Lexi, Maddie and Kendall, you are only a small sampling of the tender hearts of this group of graduates. Now, it's your turn. What do you, class of 2025, remember about our special place? Here are some heartaches and also some highlights that your friends recall. We remember the hard places. Ooh, that freshman year swim unit. The complicated juggling of the academics game and feeling less than our classmates. A lack of motivation to connect, both academically and socially. Feeling excluded and isolated in class or groups or activities. Struggling for the right fit to find one's people. Fighting to remain emotionally healthy while living in a pressure cooker environment. The difficulty of removing oneself from friend groups that just don't work. Struggling to support peers who are in pain in difficult circumstances. Allowing grades to define us, both those good ones and the poor ones. Letting opportunities pass by because of fear of failure. Hesitancy to reach out because of the fear of rejection. Remaining trapped in a negative mindset and feeling pessimistic. Yet unanimously, the most painful, hard place of all was saying goodbye to our beloved Sean. Yet, we also remember the hallways blasting music that makes us smile, break into song, or sometimes cringe, right? Screaming hellos to each other above the noise. The grade chants for the class of 25. Contagious laughter that erupts at the back of a classroom, usually over nothing, at the expense of no one. Committing oneself to a goal and attaining it. A PR, taking a hard course, making a new friend, getting that first job, arriving at school on time, Noah, or keeping absences under the magic number of 10, yes. Becoming part of multiple peer groups for a unique perspective on friendships. Acknowledging the importance of giving by shifting the focus onto the needs of others. sharing the excitement of World Cup, yep, during class, which may or may not have been teacher-led when we were sophomores, performing and playing with our adapted friends, feeling unconditional support when sharing hard things, appreciating the incredible generosity of mentors, teachers, and staff who are passionate about our lives, daily chats with Roxanne, the world's best lunchroom lady. Learning to embrace that very first step forward. Recognizing that what currently brings us stress usually just fades away. And finally, celebrating the feeling that I really do belong. As we close tonight, I share the powerful reflection from a 2025 classmate of yours, which solidifies your legacy as an irreplaceable class. Your friend wrote the following: as I thought about the plethora of experiences I've encountered in these 4 years, the unexpected passing of Sean was by far the most difficult. Simultaneously, he continued, it was the time I felt the most pride as a Husky. Everyone came together to form a memorial by the tennis courts. We spelled his name on the fence. We bought cards for writing notes. We wore matching sunflower hoodies, and still do. We tied yellow ribbons around the trees and posts in the building. He goes on to state, it was truly beautiful. The love and care being reciprocated from every one of our peers made the unbearable feel bearable. I could not help but to feel blessed to be a part of such an empathic group of people. He concluded with these words, this is a true representation of the class of 2025. I will never, ever forget. Together, you found the light in the darkness in this precious place. The lyrics of In My Life conclude with this poignant line. Though I know that I will never lose affection for the people and things that went before, I know I'll often stop and think about them because in my life, I love you more. May God bless you all the days of your life.
Took my love, I took it down. Climbed the mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in a snow-covered hill till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? And can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? I don't know. Will I But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. So well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Well, I'm getting older too. So take this love, take it down. Oh, if you climb a mountain and you turn around, and if you see my reflection in a snow-covered hill, tell the landslide to bring it down. And if you see my reflection in a snow-covered hill, well, the landslide will bring it down. Well, well, the landslide will bring it down.
Hello and good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Tatum Barnes. I'm standing here today not just as a proud member of the class of 2025, but also as the last Barnes sibling to roam the halls of Naperville North. With my 3 older brothers graduating before me, today I close out my family's incredible 20-year history in this district. 13 years ago, I was at Ann Reed Preschool, still struggling to pronounce my L's and making my mom speak practically every word for me. It's wild that the same little kid who struggled to master speech somehow found her way up onto the stage, speaking for herself in front of hundreds of people. As we prepare to graduate, we're standing on the edge of something new. We're expected to be ready to grow, to adapt, and to take on the world. But what no one really tells you is that growth doesn't always feel empowering. Sometimes it feels painful and it feels uncertain. While people love to talk about charting your course, discovering your passion, I want to talk about lobsters and hermit crabs and sea anemones. I know it sounds strange, but stay with me. Although my mom doesn't speak for me anymore, her words are reflected in most of the things I say. One of the weirder but most meaningful reflections came from a piece she wrote that started with sea creatures and somehow ended up explaining something very human. I'm going to share her writing with you now. I once heard a rabbi metaphorize a lobster's soft body contained under a rigid shell that doesn't expand to allow for growth. When a lobster feels the discomfort of growing pains, he hides under a rock to stay clear of predatory animals, casts off his shell, and grows a roomier one. The stimulus for growth is pain. It instinctively knows when it needs to withdraw, take care of its needs, regenerate adequate strength and protection from within. I lingered a bit, thinking about how a lobster contrasts to the hermit crab. While also a tiny blob of musty crustacean, the crab can't grow its own shell required for survival. For armors, it relies off the cast-off of animals like sea snails or larger hermit crabs. They on occasion will carry a poisonous sea anemone on their back to ward off potential diners. At different periods, when obstacles arise or the mood dips, we alternate between acting as the self-contained lobster and the scrappy crab who relies on the generosity of others. There are times where we turn inward and carry ourselves through turmoil, and other times where we tap secondhand strength from our chosen few. And when we're able to look up from our own hardships, we get to act as a sea anemone-like shield for someone we love. Whether we're puzzling through our own or extending a hand to another, times of stress are beacons for growth. The most constructive thing to do is seek the wisdom, meaning, and purpose hidden in the suffering and use it to create the best version of ourselves. May we all be filled with a self-aware, knowing for when it's time to muster the inner strength to lobster, nurse our own wounds, the willingness to be vulnerable and crab, finding refuge in others, and be perceptive enough to recognize when a loved one is stumbling in the depths, silently rebuilding or seeking a shell to borrow, all while surrounded by the support of a kick-ass circle of poison-packing sea anemone. We saw the rawest form of my mom's analogy during one of the hardest times we faced together, when we lost our friend Sean our junior year. That was the kind of pain that shook everything. It was a moment when things stopped making any sense. The smallest bit of innocence remaining from our childhood felt gone. It left us standing in the space between heartbreak and confusion, asking questions we couldn't possibly know how to answer. But what I eventually got from it was the feeling of togetherness, seeing how we all showed up for each other despite the pain we all felt, and the realization that showing up for someone else softened our own pain. We became hermit crabs in the best way. We leaned on one another, we cried together, we sat in silence together, and we made each other laugh again even when it felt like smiling was impossible. We became each other's shells, or even sea anemones, offering safety, protection, and a sense of peace and happiness once again. This made us realize that we're not meant to go through life or grief alone. I guess what I'm trying to say is that growing up is not just about the milestones and achievements. It's about learning how to carry the hard things. It's about knowing when to pull inward and protect yourself, and when to reach for someone else's protection. As we move forward from Naperville North, still figuring it all out, my hope is that we never forget what we learned. That there is strength in softness, power in vulnerability, and a beauty in showing up for one another. To my friends, my family, in this incredible school, thank you for being my shell when I needed one, and thank you for giving me space to grow on my very own. And to my mom, thank you for speaking for me when I couldn't find my own words. I think I finally got it. Congratulations, class of 2025. We did it!
almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost with no direction. My faith is shaking, but I gotta keep trying. keep my head held high. 'Cause there's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. The struggles I'm facing, the chances I'm taking, sometimes might knock me down, but no, I'm not breaking. I may not know it, but these are the moments that I'm gonna remember most. Yeah, just gotta keep going, and I gotta be strong. Just keep pushing on, 'cause there's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. It's the climb.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear and state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway. I know much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times I
sure you knew when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. I've lived, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my Yes, it was my way.
Well, that was good. That was great. Great job, Matthew. All right. Good evening, class of 2025, families, staff, and members of our Naperville North community. Thank you for having me to speak with you. It's such an honor. It's been such an honor to be part of this class. But what a day, what a moment. Tonight is a celebration of your journey, and a bittersweet twist, mine as well. After 33 years at Naperville North, I am retiring the same year you graduate. We're all stepping out into the next chapter of our lives, leaving behind a place that has shaped us in ways we will carry forever. And let me tell you, 33 years, it flew by. It feels like I walked through the doors of NNHS for the first time just yesterday. I remember the nerves, the excitement, the overwhelming sense of possibility. I had no idea at that time just how much this school would come to mean to me, or how quickly the years would stack up into decades. That's the funny thing about time. In the moment, it can feel slow, like you're stuck in the middle of a semester, waiting for the weekend, or for the year to be done. But when you look back, it feels like it went by in a flash. One moment, you're getting ready for homecoming, cheering on our Huskies in the dog pound, competing or performing in your blue and orange, or just hanging out with your friends in the Learning Commons. And next, you're walking across the stage in a cap and gown, or in my case, standing at the edge of retirement. Time doesn't slow down for any of us, and that's why I want to leave you with this. Live in the moment. Indeed, be where your feet are. Embrace the late nights, the early mornings, the awkward firsts, the unexpected challenges, and the sweet, sweet, quiet wins. Take it all in, because one day you will look back and it will all be memories. I have loved every moment of being part of your high school experience. Not just this year's graduating class, but thousands and thousands of Huskies who came before you. You all are the reason I stayed 33 years. It wasn't just a job, it was a purpose, a passion, a community that filled my days with meaning, energy, pride, and laughter. You've inspired me in ways I will never be able to explain fully. Watching you all grow, watching you struggle from loss, figuring things out, and finding your voice has been one of the greatest honors of my career. You each found your driven too, so makes me so happy. Whether through athletics, clubs, the arts, service leadership, or just showing up for the people around you, you proved what it means to pursue something with heart and grit. You showed up with passion, commitment, and willingness to learn, and not just facts and formulas, but how to be human, care, and belong. And that's what makes this place so unique. Naperville North isn't just a school, it's a community, a place where you found challenges, love, support, guidance, and genuine friendships. A place where you became more of yourself, a place that believed in you, sometimes before you believed in yourself. Before I close, I want to ask you to pause and think about the people who helped you get to this moment. Think about your families, your parents, your grandparents, your guardians, your siblings, the people who stood by you when things got tough, who cheered for you from the sidelines, drove you to early morning practice and rehearsals, washed your uniforms, edited your essays at midnight, or listened when you needed to talk. This moment is yours, but it's also theirs. And in many ways, this is just as emotional and as hard for them as it is exciting for you. So after you walk across the stage on Sunday, hug them tighter. Say thank you. They've been on this journey every step of the way, and today, they're proud beyond words. And so, class of 2025, as we both prepare to leave Naperville North, let us hold on to the lessons this place gave us. Let us remember the community that challenged us, supported us, celebrated us, and yes, sometimes tested our patience. But more than anything, let's remember the people, friendships that shaped us, teachers who believed in us, the mentors who showed up for us, and the classmates, or in my case, the colleagues, who all reminded us that we're never in this alone. Go boldly as you go off into the world, whether it's college, work, service, or something completely unexpected. Lead with heart. Take the time to look around and appreciate where you are, even when things feel uncertain. Because this moment right now, this feeling, it's once in a lifetime. I will always carry the school and each of you with me I hope you will carry it too. Congratulations, class of 2025. Thank you for letting me be part of your story. It's been one of the greatest gifts of my life. And now let's go and see what's next. I love you guys so much.
I wanna leave my footprints on the sands of time. No, there was something that meant something that I left behind. When I leave this world, I'll leave no regrets. Leave something to remember so they won't forget I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. You say I lived each day until I died. No, there was something that meant something in somebody's life. The hearts I have touched will be the proof that I leave, that I made a difference, and this world will see I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everybody knows I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everybody knows I was here. I just want them to know that I gave my all, did my best, but so what's happened left this world a little better just because I was here. I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone knows I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, was more than I thought it would
As this night comes to an end, we hope you have had the time to reflect on the accomplishments over the years.
Thank you for the legacy you have built as Huskies, and we hope you never forget your roots here.
Take the friendships and the lessons you have learned with you on to the next chapter, whether that be college, trade school, the workforce, or the military.
Thank you for all the unforgettable 4 years. No matter where you are in life, I urge you, live with all your heart.
As we close, we encourage you to flip over your papers and as a class, sing Slipping Through My Fingers. Congratulations once again to the class of 2025. You made it. And for one last time, go Dogs!
School bag in hand, she leaves home in the early morning, waving goodbye with an absent-minded smile. I watch her go with a certain